Now, at midnight in Washington, a deadline passed for US federal employees to respond to an email sent by Elon Musk. The email sent over the weekend was headlined, "What did you do last week?" and asked recipients to reply with approximately 5 bullet points outlining their accomplishments in the last week and CC their manager. Well, Mr Musk, who heads the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE as it's known, has since admitted that the email, quotes, was basically a check to see if the employee had a pulse and was capable of replying to an email. President Trump defended the email as a way of weeding out people who, quotes, didn't even exist. Let's speak to CBS correspondent Jared Hill in New York. Jared, there's been some confusion, hasn't there, around this with different sets of instructions to employees. Just tell us more on that.
That's right, Gita. So different sets of instructions from different aspects of the Trump administration. On one hand, you do have these emails coming from Elon Musk saying that folks have to send over this bullet point, these 5 bullet points about what they did in the week prior. But at the same time, we have seen a number of Trump agency heads saying that their employees do not have to send over this email. We're talking in particular Department of Defense, as well as intelligence departments and some of the Homeland Security departments as well. At the same time, there is another email going out from another office, the Office of Personnel Management, saying that it's up to the department head themselves on whether they have to require their employees to send over this document. All of this, again, getting to the end of who actually has to respond to this, by when, and what kind of consequences would there be? Because although we have seen Elon Musk saying that there would be terminations if folks don't send that over, yesterday President Trump said people would be sort of fired or not really fired. And so again, the question is, what is this for?
And is it clear who has ultimate authority on this? Because this is obviously real because it's about people's jobs.
That is a great question. So what we do know is that there are already in the works some lawsuits to try and block this attempt from some of the unions that represent workers in the federal government here in the United States. And so that's going to work its way through the courts. And if it gets to that level, the courts will decide whether Elon Musk or whomever has the authority to push this through. But at the same time, we are also seeing some windows being given to, again, some of these department heads here in the U.S. to tell their specific employees they do not have to comply with this one. And so at least at this point, it seems as though this will be left up to a combination of the courts for the broader question, but then also those department heads specifically for the individual agencies.
And how is this going down at the moment with US voters? Do we have any clear idea on that? I mean, could it actually alienate some Trump supporters?
So we're starting to get an idea of how this is playing out with the American public. On a larger scale, this seems to be relatively popular. That's counting both Republicans and Democrats. But when you look at the breakdown from at least a party line level, there's a complete split here with a lot of Republicans saying that they're largely in favor, Democrats saying not at all. What we have started to see, though, are at a number of these town hall events, as some Republican members of Congress, our version of MPs, as they start to go back home to their home districts, speaking to their constituents, we have seen essentially protests popping up at some of those events. With that, there are also some lawmakers who have started to dial back their language and saying that maybe there should be some studies on how this impacts the American workers. Again, not nearly as much of a full-throated support as we had seen just maybe a couple of days ago.
Jared Hill in New York, many thanks.